Hi everyone, my name's Maria and I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know a little bit about myself. So I am turning 35 this year and this will be my second time returning to RCC. I graduated at RCC in 2020 during the pandemic. My graduation was actually a drive-through through the student parking lot structure right in front of the RCC library. And the reason why I'm returning back is because of a change of major. So my major was criminal justice originally, and I had my son in 2019. His name is Marley, who is now 5 years old, and he was actually diagnosed with autism at the age of 2, which is the reason why I decided to return back to school now. And the reason why is because being a first time parent, I didn't really know much about his diagnosis. I would look things up, read things, ask for advice, things like that. But the more that he was growing, the more that I needed more knowledge. And the reason why I also want to go back to school, not that I need a certain degree to open up a daycare, but it's to open up a daycare that is access to kids with disabilities. And the reason why is because when I was a working mom before I got married, I was having so much trouble finding a daycare that welcomes kids like my son. They would mention a whole bunch of things like, yes, we are experienced with kids with autism and such forth, but they would always call me or text me that he's doing this, he can't communicate, he's acting out badly, he's having meltdowns, tantrums. And as a working mom, it was very stressful. I had to always leave work and such. And I also would get help through the county to find a daycare. And sadly, there was no daycares around me that specializes or that welcomes kids like my son. And that was very shocking. And it was kind of a tragedy that not a lot of daycares, are specialized or can handle kids with disabilities because they know they could be a challenge and it can be very complex. So that's one of the reasons why I'm returning back is because I want to open up a daycare that welcomes kids like my son. And I just want to show parents out there, the ones that do have to work to make ends meet and, to live their life, is for them to feel welcome to come into a daycare where they know their children are going to be safe. They're not going to be judged. They're not going to be looked as anything different. And that's one of the reasons why I'm returning back is the inspiration of my son and learning more how they develop as well as children with not disabilities as well. When I'm not being a mom and a wife, I do have certain hobbies. So I do like to travel with my husband. So we did get recently married in October of last year. We've been together for 3 years now. And one of our things that we like to do is we like to travel. So he does ride motorcycles. He is a Harley Davidson fan. That's all we own is Harleys. And we like to basically just go out on a weekend, leave the kids with the grandpas and grandmas, and head out because we also need a breather as well. Some places that we actually rode with his bike is actually to Cancun. That was an amazing long experience. We've been to Ensenada, San Felipe, Playa de la Carmen, things like that. We just kind of get on our bike and we just get our backpacks and we just hit the road. The last time we traveled was last year in Miami before we had our little one. I recently just had a newborn in December, the day after Christmas. His name is Ayan and he's 1 month, and we are so happy to add another boy into the family. So when I'm not traveling with my husband, I also do like to do things with my son. As I mentioned, he is on a spectrum, so he loves to be outdoors. He loves to be around the water, around sea creatures like fishes and sharks. So I always take him to the aquarium since they do have events for kids like my son, and we're able to pet the sharks, play with the stingrays, and he just loves playing in the water. He loves to get outside and get in the dirt, so I take him up hiking. And when I'm not focusing on my son, I do have some free time to myself, and I love to read books. So books are my go-to, especially if they're thriller horror movies or books, I'm sorry. And anything that keeps me up at night is my favorite type of book. And that's pretty much it about myself, and I cannot wait to see everybody else's self presentations. Thanks, guys.